I'm on them. Hey, I left you a message. Yeah. You know.
Can we come to order, please? Can we come to order, please? We're to call. Folks, can we come to order, please? We're going to call to order the council meeting of February 25th. Could you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
We have a proclamation tonight, and it's my pleasure to announce the City Council is issuing a proclamation proclaiming the month of March as American Red Cross Month in the city of Inglewood. And the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas since 1943, the President of the United States has proclaimed March as Red Cross Month, and whereas Red Cross Month is a month-long observance recognizing the American Red Cross as a true reflection of the humanitarian and volunteer spirit and calls on Americans to make a donation, volunteer, take a class, or give blood. And whereas in 2013, the Red Cross Los Angeles region provided disaster relief assistance to 774 families and supported 2,226 clients by providing shelter, food, emotional support, and other necessities. And whereas the Red Cross is chartered by Congress to provide family communications and other support to active duty members of the military and has done so for 130 years, and whereas the Red Cross encourages individuals, families, and businesses to prepare themselves for disasters by getting an emergency kit, making a plan, and being informed through preparedness education classes, and whereas across Southern California, the American Red Cross provided 400,000 potentially life-saving blood products for patients in need in 2013, and thanks to the support of the Los Angeles community, the Red Cross is there when needed most, whether down the street, across the country, or around the world. Now, therefore, be it known, the mayor and council members of the city of Inglewood, California, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2014 as Red Cross Month in the city of Inglewood, presented this 25th day of February 2014. And I think with us we have Ms. Nikki Davis, the Director of Community and Volunteer Engagement of the American Red Cross Los Angeles region, and we also have Sharon Sandow of the American Red Cross here as well. Would you like to come forward? It's time for any comments you might want to have.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor and City Council. We really are honored to be here today and to partner with you.
Hi, again, I just echo what Sharon said. Thank you so much. This relationship with Inglewood is very important to us, as it is with all of our communities. And so we're really appreciative of the recognition and also want to be of service to you all. So I invite you all to come and get to know your Red Cross Los Angeles region and see how we can be of service to you. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to come over here underneath the seal and present this.
All good around here. Everybody keeps asking. All good. Yeah, just put the momentum to go. Keep going. Yeah, the council. All right. Oh, man. See all that animosity up there. I think so.
Hey, Deputy Mayor. Any persons wishing to address the council on any item of today's agenda may do so at this time.
My name's Alfonso Parker Jr., Vietnam veteran, 66, 67. Also a conscious objector, which means I never carried a weapon, never was trained to. And I'm alive tonight to look at you and you look at me by the grace of God. On the agenda, department reports, economic and community development. I've been speaking off and on about the bus stop. I see you speak about Metro and this South Bay restructuring of the transit system to benefit the whole South Bay area, all the cities. I've been griping about this Cedar and Manchester. I live on Manchester. Manchester is the Las Vegas Strip to Inglewood. And for you not to have a light there, to put a crosswalk, and then put a blinking yellow light there instead of putting a traffic light there. It's the business, long hours, private, whatever. People walking there, that's the busiest section all night long, the latest. It's the only corner missing a light from the freeway west to Pat Crenshaw somewhere. Everyone else has a light. People have gotten killed there. I have, with the new yellow blinking light you push, you still almost get hit. And especially last week, I almost got hit by the Inglewood police, and the light was blinking. Quit dilly-dallying around before enough of it. We all got to get killed down there before you people get the message. Put a light there. Put a light there. Now, what happened is that we need this here. I get frustrated, I get angry, and I have a right to. I went somewhere for this country, for you to be idiots, if that's what you want to be. You can only do what you do here in America. You can't do it in China, you can't do it in Russia. You used to couldn't do it in France, because they take you straight to the guillotine for some of the stuff you people do. Fix that corner. You're dealing with Metro now. Put a light in there, make that part of it. That's the strip, Manchester all the way, like Las Vegas. Put a light there. Make that part of this plan here.
Mr. Mayor, my name is Joseph Texera. I object to the payment to Inglewood Today paper because it's unethical and possibly illegal for the city clerk and this council to use our tax dollars to help finance your reelection campaigns, because you know that Inglewood Today's publisher, Willie Brown, will print nothing but nice stories about you. He will hide all of your misconduct, and he will use lies to attack your critics. For instance, Willie Brown knows that 2 months ago, the Los Angeles County DA's office found that James Butts repeatedly violated state law and civil rights. Willie Brown knows this is a big story, but the last time I checked, Brown is still deliberately hiding those facts from his readers, just so he can keep getting paid. And last month, a Superior Court judge decided that Willie Brown probably committed libel, and that he deliberately lied to his readers to help Alex Padilla win an election. Politicians usually have to use their own campaign funds to publish weekly campaign ads and hire someone to get positive stories and pictures of them in the papers, like these no less than 4 pictures of James Butts on Inglewood Today, and this nice big smiling picture of the city clerk right next to Willie Brown. But this council and this city clerk have found a way around using your own money to get reelected. Legally or illegally, you use our tax dollars to pay Willie Brown. And week after week, Willie Brown makes sure that there's nothing but positive publicity in his paper. Positive publicity about you in his paper, whether it's true or not, and no matter what serious misconduct you commit, as long as you keep giving him our tax dollars. Month after month, I've made this exact same objection, right in council and the city clerk, so there's no way anyone could ever say that you didn't understand what I was complaining about. However, at the last meeting, Yvonne Horton still tried to play dumb. She lied to the public, saying that I was complaining that Willie Brown had donated money to her reelection campaign, which I didn't. Everyone knows that I've been saying the exact opposite for months, that it's been this council and Horton who have been giving our tax money to Willie Brown because you know he'll lie for you and he'll hide your misconduct. But I guess Horton was trying to distract the public from the fact that she and the council are doing business with someone who even the Superior Court recognizes as a probable liar. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I'd like to refer you and Willie Brown and all of your kiss-ups to what Yvonne Horton said in one of her Inglewood Today columns. She said, and I quote, "Those who correct others will later be liked more than those who give false praise."
Mr. Mayor, Council, staff, Michael Bendo, First District. I have a couple of things I want to comment here, and basically I'm just going to comment on one or two, but I want to show approval, and I'm behind Parks and Recreation, Library Services for the Relay for Life, Public Works, for the Ocean Blue Environment Services, and a couple of more here. Approve the report and the passage of an adopted resolution for the economic and community development, with South Bay Transportation and economic and community development, the plans, the grant and plans that will continue us to build a master plan for the bicycle path in this city. And that's something I personally have worked with, and I guarantee you it's something that the city needs. We need a bike path in the city, one that will protect not only civilians crossing the street, but the people who are riding bikes. And in the near future, it may be very well that we will be taking a lot more bikes to places in Inglewood because of the traffic. So to build a master plan and to outline areas and to protect areas that may be vulnerable to traffic, I'm suggesting that we go ahead and adopt this, because the bike path in the city has already gone through a lot of the environmental research to approve a plan, from going through District 1, 2, 3, and 4 to City Hall and all around the city, and one that really takes you throughout the city. So there are several key points to this plan, and all of them are about getting to places safely. We've got a couple of corners and areas where we have a few more traffic problems and accidents than what's average or what's considered average. So we want to, again, emphasize we need to get this master plan in action so that we're able to have a bicycle path, because again, with the traffic, the increase in traffic, we're going to have a lot to look forward to, and we don't want to get our citizens and pedestrians in trouble crossing the street or walking down the street or riding through the streets. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Butts, councilman, staff. My name is Curtis Rogers. I am currently the chair of the Inglewood Planning Committee, charged with the task of conducting this year's Relay for Life here in the city of Inglewood.
Sir,
And-
this particular period of time, you have to talk about something on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was,
I didn't know.
For life is number 3.
Oh, my bad.
well, you have an item on the agenda.
Go ahead,
too.
that's it. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Anyway, as I was saying, I chair the committee that's charged with conducting this year's Relay for Life here in the city of Inglewood. The Relay for Life, as you know, is a 24-hour community team event that's charged with helping the American Cancer Society to fight cancer. More specifically, they raise funds from this event to fund key programs and services that are available statewide and nationwide, but more importantly, a large portion of those funds come back to this local city of Inglewood and the local communities to have these events in order to fund these key programs. And it also provides community awareness of all the resources and services that are available for the citizens of Inglewood who might be facing the challenge of cancer, either as a caregiver or as a cancer survivor or one with cancer themselves. Now, specifically, this year's event will be held June the 7th and 8th here at Crosley Junior High School. It's a 24-hour event from 9 to 9, 9 o'clock Saturday morning to 9 o'clock Sunday. And we will be holding our kickoff for this event March 24th, right here at the community room in City Hall. And the event will be held from 6 to 9 p.m. And the public is welcome. And we will be advertising that in various methods so the public will be aware so we can have a good turnout. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I chair this committee. This planning committee is all volunteers. It's composed of residents of the city of Inglewood. A number of us have retired. A number of us are still working. It's a group of very dedicated citizens of Inglewood, dedicated to this cause of attacking and eradicating cancer. And it is our charge to make this event very successful. In doing so, we have identified 3 major objectives or goals that we would like to accomplish that we feel will make it better than the one we had last year. One, we would like to double the participants, the number of participants and teams that participate here. Secondly, we would like to double the amount of funds that were raised from last year. And lastly, we would like to make this more of a 24-hour event as it is designed to be. And those of you who are aware of Relay for Life, it's quite a moving event, and it honors specifically both cancer survivors, caregivers, and provides very relevant information. Now, with respect to the level of participation, to expanding that, this is where I would like to ask for your assistance, and I know I'm running out of time, but what I would like to do...
I'll give you an extra minute, sir.
I would appreciate it. What I would like to do is meet with each one of your staff of the 4 council districts to assist us in identifying both groups and individuals within your district that we could work with to develop additional teams to help increase the level of participation for this year's event.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members, staff, and our community members here. Leroy Fisher, the 1st District. To begin with, I would like to have someone speak on 01 with regard to the changing of the zoning with regard to affordable housing and the density of that. So please begin to talk on that. With regard to DR2, this bicycle path thing has been talked about a lot, and I don't know why Inglewood just can't go forward and, do like other cities do and make available the bike paths. When they redid Manchester Boulevard, we talked about that, and Councilwoman Dunlap brought to you them maps that showed where Inglewood could connect with Culver City and other cities around to make these bike paths feasible for this community in which we live. I was at a meeting recently with people who have something to do with bike paths in California, and they said they were going to come to you and talk more about that. You're talking about grants and monies. I realize that you don't have a whole lot of monies, but it seems to me that, like I say always, if you cut back on your own salaries, maybe you could do a little bit for the people of this city, like striping some of the areas for bike paths. It's something that would be very simple to do, and we ought to be able to do that. With regard to this issue with the dogs, I don't know what the deal is with the police and the dogs, but I know that recently there was a break-in on 8th Avenue not far from me, and the residents of the streets were blocked off for more than 2.5 hours. And one of the problems were that they had the helicopters running around. They were there for 45 minutes, but then they had to bring a dog in, and I guess they didn't have the dogs here in the city or the handlers. I don't know what these little things are, but it seems to me that, you ought to have someone in this city who can handle these dogs and bring the dogs in so that people don't have to be out of their homes for almost 3 hours waiting for a dog or waiting for the people to get through to find out what's going on with regard to break-ins and trying to find people that have been working in. I will be back, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fisher.
Good evening, council members. I think every once in a while this bicycle plan comes up, and I remember when Garland Hardiman already spent a truckload of money on it. So maybe we should just go ahead and brighten up those little white lines that already do exist. No need to spend extra money, but I guess that's a way just to get more money. With regard to 01, I would say absolutely, we definitely need to have more clarity, because I think it will go in and tie up very nicely with what is on the Planning Commission coming up this next month, that whole thing about mixed use. I had the opportunity to look at affordable housing and lack thereof and all of that. And if you go on most websites, you find out that Inglewood is already among the densest cities in Southern California. So that we say we need more? Why? Why, if we're already up there, do we have to have more? Not to mention that if we're talking about the whole concept of mixed use in downtown and all those areas, when you go up and down Ventura, those old storefronts are doing gangbuster business. Same thing is true in Orange and in Fullerton. I don't think we have to bulldoze and redo and create more affordable housing for our community to prosper, except that that's probably because of particular campaign contributions, as is DR3. And I would encourage everyone to look up the principles, the people listed in this little club, card club license and provisional management on the internet, and for themselves figure out why, well, these may not be the character quality persons that I would be really impressed with, though some of you will sing their praises right and left. I don't know, 400 million here, 400 million there is kind of significant to other jurisdictions. Somehow I think we might, well, kind of learn from what we did with Mr. Wanamaker. We should learn. The character of last year matters. That whole thing about faithful in little and faithful in much, that's a scriptural reference, by the way. Probably ought to check on that.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. And if I ever get something to complain about, I will complain. But now I don't have anything to complain about. That's why I support this council and Mr. Willie Brown.
Mr. Agee, but that's not on the
Yeah,
agenda.
I want to speak on consent calendar. Number 3, I'm a cancer survivor myself. I support this 200%, and I will be participating in it. Whatever I can do, I'll be glad to support it. I don't think it was up to par last year, but it seemed to me like we got a good man, leader here now, so I think we're fixing to go someplace on it. And I want to welcome the Inglewood Little League football players here tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Close public comment. Did we call into order the successor agency and the Housing Authority as well?
Quorum is present.
Item 1, CSA 2 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move allow payment of the bills.
Madam City Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales. Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar items 2 through 11.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. 01.
Staff report recommending adoption of an ordinance approving zoning code amendments 2013-4 to establish density bonus provisions for affordable housing.
Motion to waive further reading.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
Move adoption.
Second. Madam Clerk?
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. I'm going to jump to DR1.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution authorizing the city to send a letter of support for the joint application by the South Bay Cities of Council and of Governments and the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority for a grant from California Strategic Growth Council to create a sustainable South Bay transportation framework.
Move adoption.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR2.
Staff report recommending approval to submit sustainable communities planning grant applications for the development of bicycle and pedestrian master plan.
Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR3.
Staff report pertaining to the extension of provisional card club license and provisional point holder and key management employee permits.
Move 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR4.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution amending the fiscal year 2013-14 budget by appropriating funds in the amount of $267,535.50 to reconcile the final and retention payment request from Carabill Development, Inc. for construction work at RSI Phase 9, Group 2C.
Okay, before we make a motion on that, we're going to go back to A1 because it's connected.
Okay.
So we'll go to A1.
All righty.
Thank you, Mayor. As to closed session number 1, which is a closed session with the conference with the labor negotiators with the city's various labor units. Negotiators for the city is already filled, city manager and Jack Coffin, chief negotiator. Discussion was held and direction given to staff. As to CS2, the workers' compensation claim of Ms. Sherry Rumsey is a request for a motion for settlement.
So moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
As to CF3, it's a closed session regarding the payment of the claim of Bergman and Dacey. There's a request for a motion for payment.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
CS4, Mayor, there's a request for the claim, or payment of the claim of Kane, Ballman, and Berkman. So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council member Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
As to CS5, Mayor, there's a claim for the claim of Huntington Beach Honda for the payment of the bill. So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Councilmember Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
CS6, Mayor, is a claim for Carabill Development, Inc., and there is a request for motion for payment of that item also. So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
As to CS7, there's also a claim for Carabill Development. The difference between the two is the residential sound insulation program. I think it says 9G4C for CS7, and CS6 was P9GC2 for clarification. So there's a request for a motion for payment also.
We have
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
And the last item, Mayor, is CS8 and CSA1. Is a closed session regarding the potential litigation regarding the Department of Finance letter. The discussion was held and direction given to staff.
Okay, A2.
No reports.
Okay, now we move to what's been read, and
That
is there a
was,
motion for adoption?
1 second.
Madam Clerk, we're back to DR4, which you have read. There's a first from Councilman Franklin, a second from Councilman Morales.
Okay, council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin, Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR5.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution amending the fiscal year 2013-14 budget by appropriating funds in the amount of $684,759.21 to reconcile the final retention payment request from Carabil Development, Inc. for construction work on RSI Phase 9, Group 4C.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk?
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. And CM1?
Yes, Mayor and City Council. Good evening. Just wanted to bring to the council's attention, the public's attention, that, as you know, we have a number of public art pieces that are within City Hall and outside in our courtyard. And recently, a public art consultant was in town and in our City Hall and discovered that we have an art piece here in City Hall that was painted by the famous artist Gene Davis. The artwork is right out here, and this artist shows his work in the Smithsonian and the Guggenheim museums, and we're just proud to have this artwork in our City Hall and to be able to display it to the public. And I'd like to.
Which one is it?
It's right out in the hallway here. It's called. It's a vertical. It's painted in the what's called abstract vertical design, but it's a really famous piece, and I would like to encourage everyone to go out. It's actually an original signed lithograph print, and it's here for everybody to check it out. And second of all, I just wanted to remind the public also that at Rogers Park, we're going to be having free tax services by ARP. They focus on people with low and moderate income, and with an emphasis on people over the age of 60. And you can go to Rogers Park on Wednesdays from 10 to 2 o'clock p.m.
Thank you. CC1?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say this for the last time. Mr. Texteria comes here and he talks about Mr. Brown slandering him, but he makes a way to do that every Tuesday to everyone else. Mr. Brown, Willie Brown, who is the owner of Inglewood newspaper, has been here well before I got here, and he performs a service for the city of Inglewood. The city takes out ads, and he performs the service and makes sure that it gets in his paper. Well, when people perform a service, you have to pay them. If you don't pay them, then you will have problems. Now, this man has been here years before I got here, and he was performing this service. So I want to be clear on that. And what I do is I present a quote each week for his paper. He doesn't write anything about me. He doesn't write good things about me or bad things about me. He just writes the quote that I send to him. And it's just a positive quote for the week. I don't know what the problem is. Why is this gentleman such a hater? Find something else to do. But I just want to make, it clear that we have to pay him. He performs a service, and it just doesn't make any sense. There was a comment that he made last week, and he said that Mr. Brown was financing my campaign. He said that. It's on tape. He does not finance, he has never financed $1. And so I'm not going to go back and forth each week, Mayor, with that, because he's going to come, and every week it's going to be something. But I just wanted to say this one last time, and I'm done with it. He could say whatever. Thank you very much. I did want to share my little grandbaby was in a performance, and it was so cute, and it was so appropriate for here, and I was going to play it for you guys, but I'll wait for next week. But one of the things that she said is, the world is a beautiful place. It's a melting pot. You be you, and I'll be me. Thank you. That's the end of my closing remarks.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice little grandbaby. Okay. Now we're to CT1, CSA3, H2, and we'll call to order the Finance Authority.
A quorum is present.
Madam Clerk.
Monthly Treasurer's Report for the month ending November 30th, 2013.
Receive and file. Verbal reports, Madam City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to give a brief treasurer's report, and there's a number of them out on the counter that you can follow along with me. For the, this is for as of November 30, 2013. Funds under management for the City of Inglewood is $82,830,038. And the interest earnings is $45,370. The successor agency funds under management, $103,436,544. And the debt service interest earnings is $11,632. Housing Authority, $100,503. Public Finance Authority, $13,489,394. And the debt service interest earnings is $1,718. Total funds under management is $199,856,479. That's as of November the 30th. And the actual bonds outstanding is roughly about $54 million. And also, the bills that was paid for the month of January was $10,176,814.21. And the net payroll was $3,908,314.19. Total bills for the month, $14,085,128.40. And the market still is to be quite low with regards to interest earnings. It's under 0.25 for the one-year bond, and the 2 through 5 year, basically the highest bond that can be purchased, roughly about 1.75, and that's going out 5 years. And I would like to also report that I did attend the annual California Society of Municipal Finance Officers annual meeting that was held in Palm Springs this past week. And it was a very, very interesting and session. And the hot topic was, of course, had to do with California Public Employee Retirement System approved new assumptions for the pension system. And they did that last week, and it effectively increases the contribution rate. Projection shows that workers are expected to live an average as much as 2 years longer. Women retiring at age 55 in 2028 are expected to live to 87 years. Contributing more to CalPERS, $282.5 billion pension fund means that local governments will have less money to pay for services such as police and roads and parks. Also, Sacramento Finance Director pointed out at the meeting that they told CalPERS board that her city is expected to have to pay $12 million more for pensions at the peak of the new rates. The equivalent is of cutting 34 police officers, 30 firefighters, and 38 other employees. Los Angeles is unaffected because it has its own pension systems for the city's massive workforce. Torrance, which is the largest city in the South Bay, the CalPERS that will take effect for Torrance and cities in 2016 will likely cost the city a cumulative of $3 million more in contributions at the peak in 2019. And this is the equivalent of costing 15 police officers. Basically, it will increase their unfunded pension liability, which is currently $200 million. So all of the South Bay cities are going to be affected with regards to this increase. And keep in mind, CalPERS is simply passing their loss, their massive loss that they incurred through bad investments, real estate bad investments, where they lost more than $56 billion. And when they lose, they just simply pass it on to the cities and to the states in order to make up the difference. That concludes my remarks and my comments.
Thank you. Public comment. Any persons wish to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time.
Good evening. This is a question, Mr. Fields, maybe with regard to the farmers market in the city. When are they going to get started on that again? You have some information?
I can answer it there if you'd like.
Wait until we go
Okay.
around for
Okay.
comment.
And then, with regard to discussion of the newspapers, we have the Morningside Courier here in town too, and I know that some of you, have your afflictions against that paper, but it is here, and it seems to me that as you're passing these monies around, and since it is a community paper, maybe, just maybe, they could give some of those same monies to the Morningside Courier to, get the information out to the people in the city. So maybe as you are talking, maybe talk about fairness with regard to what's going on in this city, and everybody might be happier.
Mayor, I just want to answer to that. We can't use that paper because it's not adjudicated to the city of Inglewood.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alfonso, did you want to have a comment?
Yes. My name's Alfonso Parker Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, 66, also a conscious objector. And some of us are on the Vietnam wall. I was one of the ones blessed to come home. I hold meetings on Thursdays at Chuco's Youth Justice Center, just west of West Boulevard on Redondo Boulevard, Thursday, 7 to 9. All veterans, Vietnam, whatever. Bring your paperwork. I have paperwork. Bring your paperwork. We don't want any more advocacies, no more. You do good or nonprofits. You're creating jobs for us. We're still fighting for our benefits. I filed a claim in '95, and I'm still fighting for it. We can fight for it. We can go to Vietnam. We don't need you to fight for it. We needed you to go for us instead of us going to Vietnam. That's when we needed you. We don't need you now. We can fight for ourselves. Bring your paperwork. Bring your notebook. And I'm not a lone wolf, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever believe that. PTSD is the new game they run it. Now they're fixing to run a game on you. I think it's the one about the Alzheimer's. The government been drugging you for years. They've been drugging us, the biggest drug dealers they are. And now this Obamacare. First of all, Howdy Doody could have been elected, and you'd be calling it Howdy Doody health care. He's not old enough to even have been around long enough to deal with any of this. This was set in place. Joe McCartney went after these liberal art degrees that these colleges are offering. And you got lawyers, judges, and everywhere. You can tell who they are because they have credits for taking United States Navy, Marine Corps, propaganda, liberal arts program known as G12, G7, G5, and G2, and G my God. And they've been propaganding your butts to death. PTSD, shell-shocked. When have you had shell-shocked? You weren't even born then. They keep evolving, one trash dump after another. And each time one of you dies, they pocket that money as racketeering. You got the fox guarding the hen house. That's what, we can't create this paperwork. It's their paperwork. Even their trash paperwork. Take it. Don't go crazy, because on federal property, you don't have to ever be seen again. Nobody goes on federal property. You meet them at the line, they give you what they want. Come to my meetings and bring the trash, because it's their trash. They control these documents. Maxine Waters looked at mine August 22nd, 2000, in her town hall meeting at West Boulevard before this health care passed. 2 weeks later, she tells me I've never been in the military. She's in violation of her United States Air Force security classified document procedures, having been cleared, vetted with a secret clearance, special access, need to know, practically since I was 19 years old, up until I last worked at 45, which is like 1990.
Your time, Mr. Afonso.
Can I get that a minute that you gave the other people?
No, sir. I give it selectively based on content. So, no, we're done.
Well, you'll hear more of me.
We're done, sir.
Red Cross, AARP, Disabled Americans, they're all part of it. Come to my meeting, people. Put your head out the sand. Take back your country.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilman, staff, and audience in attendance. My name is Angela Gibson, and I'm a resident of District 3. I recently retired from AT&T with almost 35 years of service. I'm here this evening to let you know that I am now joining the staff of Assemblymember Stephen Bradford in his district office as a consultant. So I look forward to our continued relationship. Just to let you know, I'm a homeowner in Inglewood, bought my home here, my car here. I look forward to our continued relationship, and I'm here to serve.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your service.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera, 50-year resident of Inglewood. I'd like this council to know that when you sit quiet while your supporters use bigotry and hypocrisy to attack your critics, it only makes you look worse. At the last meeting, Mr. Willie Agee hypocritically defended James Butts by trying to divide residents by race. Week after week, people of color come here and criticize Mayor Butts. Willie Agee never says they do it because Butts is black. One woman of color stood right here and angrily called James Butts a rapist. Did Willie Agee say she did it because he was black? No. Inglewood Today's publisher, Willie Brown, a man of color, published a story when Butts was running for mayor implying, with apparently no real evidence whatsoever, that James Butts or someone in his campaign broke out the windows and then Mayor Danny Tabor's campaign headquarters. Did Willie Agee accuse Brown of printing such a sleazy story because Butts is black? No. City Clerk Horton, a woman of color, took James Butts off the mayoral ballot in 2010 and had James Butts imply at this podium that she committed election fraud. Has Willie Agee ever said that Horton did that because Butts is black? No. This letter from the district attorney, Jackie Lacey, a woman of color, says that James Butts violated the law and civil rights here in Inglewood. But did Willie Agee ever say that Jackie Lacey or Lacey's office said Butts violated the law and civil rights because Butts is black? No. All these people of color have criticized and or taken serious negative legal action against James Butts. In the case of the district attorney and the city clerk, much more serious action than I have ever taken. But Willie Agee has never said that any of them did it because Butts is black. However, when I point out that Jackie Lacey's office said that Butts repeatedly violated my civil rights, when I do that, Willie Agee says it's because Butts is black. But Agee only said that about me because of the color of my skin. Mayor Butts' biggest supporter is a hypocrite, a bigot. He lets certain people with certain skin color say and do some things that he does not tolerate from people with different colored skin. And that is the very definition of a hypocrite, a bigot. And because this council encourages his evil behavior, you should all be ashamed. And when Willie Agee defends James Butts' past and present violations of people's civil rights, violations that have been documented by the DA's office and the California courts, when Agee does that, he is disrespecting all those who we honor in this month of February, who have fought and suffered and died fighting for civil rights for all people. And for that, Willie Agee should be deeply ashamed. And lastly, I'd like to applaud all the members of the public who condemned Willie Agee's comments at the last meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. My name is William Roebuck. I am the president of Inglewood Junior All-American Football and Cheer League here in the beautiful city of Inglewood. Come in peace. I'm coming today to talk to you about a football field for our children, the future. Any help that can be provided by your staff would be greatly appreciated. We've brought out our parents and some of our children out here to actually come to the council meeting to see how things are ran, and see what possibility there is that the board would be able to help us get a football field. We currently play our football games at Carolyn Coleman Stadium at a significant charge, and we're trying to find a way to lower the cost to our parents. And a lot of the teams in our organization, our leagues, play in their parks and recs, play football in their parks, and are not charged the amount that Inglewood is charged. So tonight we're coming here asking for help in obtaining a field at one of our parks for football. As you know, football used to be a seasonal sport. It is now turned into a year-round sport. We provide these kids a safe haven for over 30 weeks out of a year, every Saturday. The beginning of the season, it's practice every day. As school starts, we drop down to 3 days a week. We are not just coaches and board members, but we're also mentors to these kids. We're keeping them off the streets, keeping them away from crime, and hopefully fulfilling their lives and making them better persons in the future and productive citizens. So anything that the board can do to help us obtain a field would be greatly appreciated.
Real quick, what's your arrangement with Coleman Field? What do you pay a year, and you play like league games there, or you practice there, or what do you do?
We only use the field on Saturdays during football season, and I hate to say it, but we pay $25,000 to use the football field. With that $25,000, us being a nonprofit organization, that is passed along to the parents in our budget meetings as far as raising our fees and everything to be able to play there.
So you play your league games there?
Our home field, yeah, that's our home field, sir.
So how many days a year do you use it for that $25,000?
We use Carolyn Coleman 11 weeks.
So for 11 days, you pay $25,000?
Yes, sir, yes, Mayor.
Has it always been that amount?
We had to actually take a break. We couldn't afford it. So here you go again with another expense that we had to pass on to our parents, having to drive to all the away games, because for about 3 years we just couldn't afford to play on the home field. And I'm not here bashing the school board or nothing, because I appreciate them letting us use it, but it is getting costly, and as we all know, that cost as a nonprofit organization has to be passed on.
So, and what's the age group of your kids?
We start from 5 years old to 14. So we
Okay.
basically start from kinder to, we have kids in our program in the 9th grade.
And for all those different age groups, you only need 11 days for home field?
Yes, yes, Mayor. And our games start at, as we all know, volunteering. You really have to have a heart to do what we do. We start there at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and we close our field after we clean up at probably 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Okay, so here's the thing, though, you know, we have fields at Centinela Park, but you need bleachers and stands for the parents to cheer, right?
That was something that we were willing to help with, as far as raising money for bleachers. You know, when you go to your kids' games, a lot of parents bring their own chairs, but we would need.
Well, I know, but here's where I'm going. But the fact of the matter is, you need a certain size field to be regulation to compete in your league, I'm sure.
Yes,
And I'm not certain that with adding bleachers, that those fields up top of the east end of Centinela will be long enough. Have you scoped
Oh,
that
no,
out?
Centinela, that's the top, one of the top soccer fields would be large enough. You just need a regulation 100-yard football field.
Just one of them?
We only need one field. We're only asking for one field.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. I can tell you that everybody up here hears you, and we're definitely invested in trying to help you find a solution. So let us talk about it, and could you give your information to the Sergeant of Arms, and we'll get back in touch with you.
Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Uh-oh, he brought the hammer. I saw that coming.
Hello. My name is Elijah Williams IV. I've been playing football for the Inglewood Jets for 6 years. We have the best coaches. We have the best coaches in the organization, and the only thing that we don't have is our home field.
Thank you, son.
My name is Amir, and I've been playing for Inglewood for 6 years, like for all my life. We have the best coaches, and all we asking you for is a field for 12 teams.
Thank you, Amir.
Hi, my name is Isaiah Williams, and I've been playing for Inglewood for 6 years, and we have the best coaches and the best staff, and all we're asking you for is a football field.
Hello, my name is Michael Benbow, and I've been playing football for...
You didn't tell us about the coaches yet.
I have a comment. It's about a couple of weeks old, but I haven't been able to get up here. There's some other things that was more important for me to talk about. So I'd like to bring it up now, and I think it's not going to change anything, but it's my opinion, and I want it to be known. But I'm talking about the 60 acres that was being discussed, highly discussed 3 or 4 weeks ago, and about the purchase of the 60 acres by the owner of the Rams, who is the son-in-law of Sam Walton, which many people seem to not know. The 60 acres is a part of the family thing. That was just a matter of switching the deeds overnight or something like that. But if we didn't collect money on it, then it wasn't sold back and forth because we passed a tax, a lease tax, I think about maybe last year or so, where we got a little bit more money if the lease changes names. So we didn't get that. It didn't change. But it's in the family, so have no fear.
Jimbo, I know
Yes.
you won't mind me interrupting you.
No.
What you put out is inaccurate. There was an actual title change. It was not a family change. It was actually a sale from a purchase and sale from one entity, Walmart, which owned the property,
Right.
to another entity, which was not a Walmart person.
Right.
Now, so any taxes would apply.
Right.
And we did not put the property transfer tax increase on the ballot a year ago. We withdrew it because of, objections by 2 of the council members, so it wouldn't have applied anyway. But whatever taxes from that sale that are due, the city's going to receive every dime.
There. Now, that's the proof. Proof is in the pudding. If we got taxes on that, you see.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to bring out. And I just wanted to comment on the 68. You guys go give me a...
No, I'll give you a minute. I just didn't want that to go out there.
Comment on the 60 acres, and my hometown is in St. Louis. So I did a little calling back home to see what was the agenda of the gentleman who owns several professional sports franchises. What was his agenda? He's trying to, as I understand it, get the city to sponsor some type of either build a new stadium or build up the present stadium with more box seats and that sort of thing in St. Louis. And this could be a play on the city of St. Louis to do the things that he wants to do. People that got money do things like that to get what they want. So they may say, well, we're going to move to 60 acres, which is almost impossible, in Inglewood, so that the people in St. Louis say, oh, they're going to move. Well, we got to do something for them. We don't want them to move. But I don't think it was about that at all. I think it was a game, chess game played by rich people to get what they want out of a city or people back in St. Louis about the Rams. So I don't think we're going to have these people here in Inglewood. I think that was something of a threat, mild threat, but they need more than 60 acres, I think, to put up a stadium, parking, and all that sort of thing. So I don't think we'll have to worry about that, and I don't think that's going to fit into our plans here in this city either. It's one of the things they can do, and I'll just make a suggestion to them, is the fact that they can start developing that property, and they can do things with it, such as the restaurants that we need in this city. Maybe they can do a head start on that. But we also going to have the infrastructure of that Hollywood Park tomorrow with restaurants and that sort of thing. So, or they can give some money to the Little League football teams here in this city and help us out with that. Because as you can
We
see,
gave you your minute back.
we desperately need help with our youngsters here in this city and our seniors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sir, please come forward.
Hello, I'd like to introduce the mayor of the city council. My name is Thad Ballou. I've been a resident in Inglewood for over 25 years. I'm a Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart, and I'm also a football coach. And I've been in Inglewood Junior All-American for over 35 years. I retired from the city of Los Angeles with 35 years of employment in 2005. And I've been coaching youth football for over 35 years. I raised my sons, my grandkids. I put, I don't know how many players in the professional ranks and college ranks, and I've never asked anything of anybody. It's all been volunteer. I love being a mentor to these young men, but we need to have a place for our young men to have a safe haven and learn how to grow up and be respectable for the community. And this program is one that does that. It was started in 1969, and from 1969 to now, we've been fighting school board, city council, everybody trying to find a safe place for these young men in Inglewood and these young ladies. And it's time. I'm getting old. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be around here, but I'd love to see a place for these young men to go and have a safe haven and learn how to grow up to be outstanding men and productive people in our society.
Good evening, Councilman Dodson, Mr. Fields. I know a couple of your faces from being in the planning division. I just want to speak tonight on the different behalf of Inglewood Junior All-American Football. The mayor was invited to our family affair last summer, and thank you again also for participating. But as you see, we touch a lot of young men and young girls in our community. Yes, we are here asking.
Sergeant Arm, could you please have them talk outside? Hold on one second, ma'am. Folks, we really shouldn't talk when other people are talking. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, tonight we're here asking for your assistance and backing us in obtaining a football field here in the city of Inglewood. We have all worked here, we lived here, we have professionals that are in the NFL and NBA who has come through Junior All-American Football. We are here tonight, we have parents who own businesses, children that go to school here, but we can't seem to get a break in obtaining a football field. So I just wanted to add those few words along, and also Councilman Dodson, don't forget I need to meet with you on another matter. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Welcome, Mr. Davis.
Good evening, Mayor and council and staff. Quickly, that shield behind you says All-American City, Mr. Mayor. Are we an All-American City or what, people? Our kids need a Little League place to call home. I mean, let's put the word out. We're 110,000 people. We can pony up the money. Come on. Let's find a way. There are kids, right? Okay. Next thing, folks, before I came down here, in fact, it made me late. Gentleman back there, the conscientious objector, he's confirmed. They're shredding documents. They announced it on the news. They're shredding people's records. So you can't prove that you were in the Tet Offensive. You can't prove. Basically, heads are going to roll. It's just breaking. So, yeah, all that time, he was right. Amazing. Can't believe my country would do this to me. Can't believe it. It's true. CNN, Fox, it broke. My last minute and 44 seconds. I know you guys have a lot to do. You're busy. But I've been, in the last 2 weeks since I've been here, I went on something you said, Mayor, about, okay, we're human. Yeah, we make mistakes. We've all made a couple. Yeah. I've made a few. But I'm sure we've all noticed how it's rampant. Every day you look in the paper, indicted, convicted, facing sentencing, elected officials. And sadly, it's touched here as well. We have, off the top of my head, about 8 people that were convicted of something or had to resign in disgrace for something here in Inglewood. And so what I'm hedging, about 8 people over the years. Yeah, not last month. We're talking about back since, let's see, what's the guy, is it Hernandez? Just recently, he's under indictment for something.
No, he's not. You talking about Jose Fernandez?
Fernandez, he's under some sort of, it's not indictment.
He's not indicted.
Okay, he's under something.
Not charged, not indicted, not
Okay,
investigated.
he's been a naughty boy, apparently.
Okay.
Well, he's been a naughty boy.
He negotiated a very lucrative compensation package with the school district.
And we had Mr. Wanamaker. Yeah, he was a naughty boy too.
He did that in Buffalo, right?
Yeah, not
All right.
here.
All right.
Roosevelt Dorn, naughty boy. He did it here. Should have known better. And can I get 30 seconds more, and I'll just get to the
You have
point.
another minute because you only named 2. I'm eager to hear the rest. I'm really, when you start talking about people indicted, you should be accurate.
Let's see.
So that's 2.
Let's see. Creisha Green. She was in the school board.
Yeah.
Not here on this dais. I'm being general.
That's not even in the city of Inglewood
And
political realm.
let's see, who else? There's another council person that was here back in the early days.
Indicted?
No, he got convicted of something. I'm trying to remember his name. You see the point. It's like I said, folks have made mistakes. And
Well, Garland Hardeman, when he left the council, he was indicted for and convicted in a scheme with the city of Gardena, which involved pay to play. Carson, but he wasn't on the city council at that time.
Hardeman.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Right.
And
He wasn't
here.
councilman.
No, he wasn't
Okay.
here. And it's just the point I'm trying to make, Mayor, is that let Inglewood be that city that says, you know what? Let's not be the city where folks can come and figure out the best way to be wrong. Let's change our charter so that folks can't do this kind of stuff so easily. And if they do, they pay a price.
Mr. Davis, the reason I went back and forth with you on this, because I think it's very important to note of all that you named, there's one person that was indicted while they were sitting on the council.
and
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of important when you throw around phrases like that. And the reality is that, to my knowledge, there's been one person that's been charged and pled a bargain in all these years. And I think that's very significant. And you're right. A lot of elected officials are being indicted around the country and around California.
Yeah,
But
they're being
in all
striked.
these
I don't
years you're
play
talking
favorites
about,
politically.
all the years you're talking about a sitting person, there's only one. And so I think what you're saying is that obviously we are doing something right here. And what you're talking about is illegal by law. You don't have to put it in the charter, as the district attorney makes very clear. So I just don't want to throw out things like 8 people being indicted in Inglewood City Council. It's just not
Granted,
true.
I should have clarified, at one point, they passed through Inglewood, and I guess you have to admit, they passed through Inglewood, some of them got indicted
That's the
here, some of them
qualification.
got indicted and got into trouble elsewhere.
They probably were all born in California, too.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's as much relevance, right?
yeah, but it's like I tell people, Mayor, and I don't want to waste any more of anybody's time.
No,
but
I'm
I'll
enjoying
end-
this. Go
I'll
ahead.
I'll end like this. Are you going to try to convince me that the day Gloria Allred outed Jesse Jackson for his little love child and he was 50-some years old, that's the first time he ever did it? No. You'd never convince me of that.
There you go. Okay.
Okay? So a good man doesn't go bad all of a sudden.
There you go.
You see? That's the point I'm trying to
You
make.
got me there.
Yeah, good bad does not go bad all of a sudden.
Got you there. All right.
It's a pattern. And what happens is we get these people that are going through that pattern. I don't want them to stop here.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at.
All right, Mr. Davis. Thank
Are we
you.
cool with that?
Thank you,
We all
Mr.
cool
Davis.
with that?
I think everybody's really clear. I think everybody's really clear. Come on.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, residents of Inglewood, staff, I actually indulge us tonight because they gave me more reports tonight to read than I normally would on behalf of the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. My name is Wayne Spencer, and I'm here this evening on behalf of the South Bay Workforce Investment Board to provide a brief summary of its current activities. As you're aware, the South Bay WIB is comprised of representatives of the 9 participating cities of Inglewood, Gardena, Hawthorne, Carson, Lawndale, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, and El Segundo for the delivery of employment and training services through its one-stop business and career centers. My report summarizes the January 16, 2014 South Bay Workforce Investment Board meeting activities and program accomplishments through the second quarter of program year 2013 to 2014. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board has received a high-performing WIB certification from the state of California. We're only 16 of 49 boards have actually received this certification, so I say hoorah for our board. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board submitted a $3 million grant application to the U.S. Department of Labor Career Connect program. The Youth Career Connect program is focused on strengthening college and career readiness of students enrolled in science, technology, engineering, and math. In other words, it's called a STEM programs. The Youth Career Connect program combines rigorous academic and technical curriculum focused on specific in-demand industries or careers that will increase participants' employability in high-growth, in-demand occupations and industries. Prepare them for post-secondary education. The project will be implemented from April 2014 to October 2018 and will serve 210 students. The South Bay WIB partners include El Camino College, California State University Dominguez Hills, and Inglewood Unified School District. The South Bay WIB, Inc. will be operating the Gardena Career Center, which will become a satellite office to the Inglewood One Stop effective January 1st, 2014. The Mayor of Inglewood, representing the chief elected officials of the South Bay Workforce Investment Area, subsequently approved the transfer of the operation to the Gardena One Stop. The City of Gardena also approved the transfer. Blueprint for Workplace Success Curriculum Development is now available to purchase to local businesses through the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Currently, 4 workforce investment boards are seeking to purchase the curriculum from the South Bay WIB, which has been placed on Interstate Training Resources Information Network. It's an iTrain network. And the State of California's Training Directory. The Unified Workforce Investment Board is preparing to purchase a 1-year operating license of the Blueprint curriculum, as are other businesses. This one way in which we defray our operational costs and our reliance on actual governmental grants. The South Bay WIB has submitted a RFP for the California Career Pathways Trust Fund grant, which will fund competitive grants for feeder schools, high schools, community colleges, and their business partners to create pathways to careers in high-need and high-growth economic sectors. Inglewood Schools has been included. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is in the process of developing industry sector partnerships in 4 target growth industries in the South Bay area: construction, healthcare, manufacturing, and trade, transportation, and utilities. These sector partnerships will bring together leaders in business and education along with other stakeholders to meet business demands for a skilled labor force. Any local businesses willing to partake in any of the aforementioned work groups should contact Jan Vogel, our executive director. In November 2013, the South Bay One Stop Career interviewed 10,000 local residents for the positions at the forum to ensure a successful grand opening. Year to date, a total of 61,747 individuals were served at the South Bay One Stop Business and Career Centers. 39,437 were served at our Inglewood One Stop through December of 2013. Year to date, the Inglewood Teen Center has provided educational and extracurricular activities to a total of 260 Inglewood youth. Beginning January 2014, there will be an allotment of individuals on a transitional subsidized employment program called TSC that will be available to public and for-profit businesses. The South Bay will pay 100% of the wages for participants provided to the city and will partially subsidize wages for businesses in the community that participate in the program. We encourage the city and local businesses who are interested to contact the Inglewood Business and Career Centers so that they can line up participants for the successful program. Rapid response services were provided.
I'll let you
Too
go
far,
over.
okay. Gentlepersons, I'm going to provide, thank you for your attention. I'll provide the rest of this report to the council members. Again, thank you for your indulgence, Mr. Mayor.
No problem. Close public comment? We'll reopen public comment. How you doing, Stuart?
Hey, how y'all doing? All right, how you doing, Mayor, council, staff? Good evening. I just have a few comments this evening I'd just like to say. Does anybody know that there's a petition going around the United States about opening day of baseball as a legal holiday? Yes, this was on the news today, opening day. And my comments are basically this. We, as a nation, have finally gone too low, way too low. We have put in sports way ahead of education. Now, opening day in baseball, if that's something, then why not football? Because football is the most popular sport in America. But baseball is popular with Anglo-Saxon, okay? I don't mean to be racist, but hey, that's
No,
how
you didn't mean
something,
to be.
well, what it is. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Yes, and like I said, we want to invest in a holiday for a baseball game, and what about our children that are suffering because they don't have an education? We don't invest in something like education. Where are our morals at? That's what I'm trying to say. I went to the event that happened at the library for the C mobile trailer for the kids to go to the have the education of the Pacific Ocean as far as the life and the things that are swimming in our ocean on the Pacific. And it was a very good event at the library this weekend, Saturday. The Dalai Lama came here today. I heard it was a very successful event. He is a man of peace. I hope that everybody that was in attendance got his message, because that's what we need. I can see that we're starting to go in very moral wrong ways. Like I said, our number one priority should be education for everybody, not just children, because I think a lot of adults need the education as well. We need to stop talking and start listening as community members, as a nation. We do have different problems out there. Florida has a lot of racist problems. We just got to start talking, people. We got to start talking. We got to start listening. That's the key to anything communicated. You have to listen, and really listen and understand what's being said. Those are my comments, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey.
Good evening. My name is Diane Sombrano, and I want to thank Mr. Fields for bringing out that wonderful art project. I wish that we had all of our art projects labeled downstairs. We have a few items that if you don't know who they are, nobody knows who they are or why we care about them. In fact, we have from the Darby, Mayor Darby and County Supervisor Darby years, we have several WPA projects in the city that everyone should appreciate. Unfortunately, we tend to not appreciate. I went to our Veterans Memorial Center the other day and noticed that the floor has been tragically not loved, cared for, or appreciated. And that's unfortunate, because that is a historic treasure. As a matter of fact, there's a grand movement in Berkeley that all of our items will be included in a registry of great WPA projects in a publication to come out shortly. See, while someone tends to be very annoyed that I write often and am published locally, I write very often, published more than just locally. But hey, I don't need to run around and get your permission to do that. That's how it is. I have the right to write wherever I choose. With regard to what was just said about education and the importance of it, I think one of the important things that we should all remember is that all of the dollars that are the tax dollars that are supposedly given for the benefit of education are supposed to be for that, not to enrich one individual. And unfortunately, it seems that the training in this room led one individual to not treasure children very much and chose instead to enrich himself. We all know who that is. Tonight, even as we speak, yep, right now, it's probably being broadcast on Channel 2 and 9, Jose Fernandez. And it's unfortunate that so many of you treasure him so much that you cannot separate a person from their actions and say the action is in fact an inappropriate one. To enrich oneself at the expense of young people, losing an education, $663,000 buys an awful lot of textbooks, not to mention, as was pointed out by Ms. Brown, the multiple years of pension dollars that one action will cost all future children of the school districts in all of our state. But greed is an incredible thing, and much as some of you would like to, when someone does something wrong, they do it wrong. It doesn't mean that they didn't do it simply between the time they were in our presence.
Before you go, so that I make it very clear, I think it's wrong whenever anyone, even with the complicity of a council or a school board, provides himself outrageous compensation. The point that I was making was it didn't occur on this body, and that was the point that was made. Nothing else. Go ahead.
Well, good afternoon. I come with some cheerful news. First, I want to congratulate your Inglewood Police Department. I got a few calls saying that they were harassing the park over there in District 3, Morales. Well, I said to the people, thank you, Jesus. That'll stop the killing. So your guys are on their job. Tell your chief he's doing a good job cleaning the streets. Other thing is Dalai Lama. I went down Prairie today, guys, and I swear to God, I didn't believe that man was that big. That man big as the Pope. I seen CIA and everybody, all of Inglewood, man, y'all was guarding that man. Why is he so big? What he done? I don't know, but anyway, peace is what we need. Also, I want to say about forgiveness. Everyone here was born, know your 10 Commandments. You have to give and forgive. Yvonne, the city clerk, and I, we apologize for the things that we did. So why keep bringing it up? I want to say this to the mayor. You doing a hellified job with this city. I ain't gonna lie. You doing it. You really doing it. Everything that I did to you, I pray every night for God to forgive me. Because it wasn't true. You ain't raped nobody. Why you gotta rape somebody when it's sitting on the corner free? Come on now. Come on, every man knows.
Good for a
Come
minute
on now. I mean,
Really
come
good
on
for a
now,
minute.
man. You go anywhere nowadays, they sitting on your lap. Come on now. Nobody gotta rape nobody nowadays. That's why I hate the school teachers messing with kids. That's the only thing I hate. But when you're grown, you're grown. Okay? So I want to say that. And what we did, forgive us. And Mr. Agee, I talked to the man out there, Joe Testerio. He said you called him a bigot last week. I don't remember that. But if so, he's black, honey. He's a Puerto Rican. He's black. He ain't no bigot. And stop playing the race card. Inglewood is Inglewood. This man trying to get us on the move. I seen Eric Swallow from Hollywood Park out there today. Come on now, we fixing to move, y'all. Stop being jealous. Stop hating. Congratulations, Council and Mayor. Got to give you shit. They did a good job.
I only need about 10 minutes.
Well, I got 3 for you.
Okay. You don't have to be white to be a bigot.
Oh, okay.
You can be a bigot and be black, brown, or any other color. The Inglewood Little League football players, I don't have to say anything. I believe this council got the message. I've been praying, I've been working for 10, 12 years for this. And I want to thank them for coming out, supporting it, program tonight. Main thing I want to talk about, something that's important to this city. For the last 5 years, we've had a young man sitting on the corner of Century Boulevard and Prairie Avenue on the bus stop. He would fight anybody if they tried to get him to leave. Thank God, the chief of police signed one of his people to go over and investigate, see what the problem was. The young man was military, 5 years in the Air Force, educated man. We don't know what happened to him. I know people go by and harass him. I did myself. Times I went by and said, why don't you clean yourself up, get you a job, and get off the street? But I didn't know what was going on with this young man. This officer, Cindy Elders, took this young man to the veteran VA hospital. He's been away from his family for something like 10 years. Man is doing fantastic. He's back home. He's still at the VA, but the man is really coming along, and the officer said she was going to bring him here, let he haircut, cleaned up. Awesome. And I want to say this. I'm a disabled veteran myself, and I want to tell you this. The Veterans Administration takes care of me. If it wasn't for the VA, I wouldn't be standing here. I hear people get up here and criticize the Veterans Administration. They've been taking care of me for 20 years, and that's a fact. I'm proud of this city. The Dalai Lama, I'll tell you, awesome. If you wasn't there, you should have been there. He brought a message to the city of Inglewood. Thank you very much. Proud of it. Absolutely.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. I'm just going to make a quote. Those who can be made to believe absurdities can also be made to commit atrocities. Let that percolate a little bit, because there's been a lot of absurdities going on, and behind those absurdities have been atrocities, and they're affecting people's lives. Also, as a closing note, I hope that we have better traffic control for the future events of the forum. Mrs. Gardner and I were leaving City Hall one evening when the Eagles had their concert, and it took us 45 minutes to get home. Every thoroughfare was jam-packed. And the gentleman that spoke about it on February 11th, I think that was our last meeting, the traffic was horrendous. So if we're going to have these kind of events, you should think about the citizens who are out trying to make their way home, because it was just a mess. So hopefully you'll take care of that.
Well, Ms. Lai, I'd make a recommendation when you leave City Hall. If you just take Regent to Hillcrest, Hillcrest to Florence, Florence to Crenshaw.
We took every kind of, we made circles, and we ended up back at La Brea,
I have
in front of the
I have to
City
tell
Hall.
you, I drove from here myself, and I had to get that side of town. If you take Hillcrest to Florence, most people aren't on Florence. They don't even know to go Florence to Prairie. So I'd take Florence all the way to Crenshaw, and then you'd bypass all the forum traffic and then go southbound on Crenshaw. Or even better, go down to 4th or 5th Avenue. They definitely won't be on 4th or 5th.
I think we took every kind of route we could think of, right?
Okay, well, then I
It
did,
took us-
I did
It
my.
took us 45
I did my
minutes.
best. All right. All right, all good. All right, we close public comment. Council comment, Councilman Dodson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just really have one comment. I would like to thank all the people in the First District who participated in the shredding event last Saturday. I am very happy to report that we had over 300 people to come through. Some of them came inside and had a little coffee and refreshments with us. And I want to thank them all for coming, taking the time to come out. And a lot of them asked if we would do it again. And yes, we will, but I think the city will be doing one before we do it again. So thanks to all of you for coming out, and I look forward to seeing you at my town hall meeting. That will be coming up soon. I was waiting on the meeting, but it looked like I'm going to have to go before the meeting. So I thank you all for coming out and your comments. They make us think, they make us do our job, and we will do our job better of some of your comments. So thank you all for coming out, and we look forward to seeing you next meeting.
Thank you, Councilman Padilla.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of comments. First, I want to thank all the residents and business owners that came out this past Saturday and last night. I had a meet and greet over at the ICOP Center to meet with folks and talk about some of their concerns. I also had representatives there from the police department because one of the big concerns is traffic. And so I want to thank Lieutenant Mark Freed for being there and representing the department. I also want to touch on a couple of things. First off, Relay for Life. You know, I think that's very important for us as a city to get behind, but I also think it's important for us as a community to get behind and support. So I hope to see you all out there. I know District 2, we're going to have our own team out there, and we'll be out there, and I'm challenging all my colleagues to get their teams together, to be out there for Relay on June 7th and the 8th, and look forward to attending the event on March 24th, which is the kickoff event. And I want to thank Mr. Rogers for a great presentation earlier this evening about Relay. Moving on. You know, every week we have folks that come up here and talk, and again, like I always say, that's great. I just find it interesting that there's a person that comes up and talks, and this person's on the executive board of the Centinela Adobe. And what I would appreciate is hearing about the Centinela Adobe as well, not just about other subjects. That's all good, but if you can find it in your words of wisdom to also talk about what's happening at the Centinela Adobe, let us know what events are coming up so that we can participate and be a part of those events. That would be very good for all of us. The bicycle and ped master plan, I think that's great. I think that once we kick that off and we start encouraging our community members to ride their bikes, if you're just taking local road trips, like I say, there's no reason to drive through Inglewood, and you can drive to Inglewood and keep your money here. Use your bicycles, get from point A to B, and let's keep our air quality down as well. We had a presentation regarding the South Bay Workforce the Investment Board. I got to tell you, they've been really good. They actually gave us a copy of their budget report, which was very well done. I know I received mine, but I also receive every day, I get information about job opportunities that they have, and I put those in my weekly email blast because I think it's important for our youth and our seniors to have opportunities to find work and be able to pay for that roof over their head and put food on their table. So I want to thank them for providing that information. Again, thank you for coming out tonight. Much appreciated. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Morales.
Thank you. I'll start with the Jets, you know, great program. One of my sons actually played a year there before he started playing sports at his school. I think that what we need to do is figure out kind of either how we help you kind of partition a field here up on Sentinel Park, or figure out why it's so expensive at the district. While it's the district, it might be security. I don't know if there's Inglewood police that actually go there during the week. It has to be a reason, and see if we could participate that way. But either way, I mean, you should have home games in Inglewood. Somehow, some way, that has to be something that's out there. Now, in regards to Cancer Relay for Life, I gotta say, I participated for the first few years. I think it's a great opportunity to come out and participate, not only, like Alex said, in support of curing cancer, but really it became a community event that was excellently loaded with a lot of participation and just positive feel for the city of Inglewood. So I'm going to be looking into the dates, Councilman, and seeing if I could participate as well. I didn't make it today for the Dalai Lama, but I heard it was a great turnout. And I have to say, I went to one of the Eagles concerts, and I got out of that parking lot pretty quick and got home in about 10 minutes. So I'm just saying, that was my experience, and that's what I'm hearing. So, if there's an issue, I think, it'll surface. In regards to everything else, so I would just like to close in honor of 41-year-old cousin of mine. His name is Luis Yepes, who passed away of pancreatic cancer about 2 weeks ago.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Franklin.
Yes, I just want to piggyback with a couple of comments that we've adopted the bicycle and pedestrian master plan. And I think before we start talking about pathways, we need to talk about education. Many of the cyclists have equal rights as you as a driver of a vehicle. And you need to be made aware that they have a right to be in that same lane that you're in, including, which I discovered, the left-hand turn lane, just as yourself. There's only one exception where the cyclist has to yield, and that is when the location has an actual designated path lane. At that case, they must yield to that lane in lieu of blocking up the entire street. And so we've talked about that in the Metro South Bay Service Council, and we're still exploring that, making sure that people are educated, whether you're the rider as a cyclist or you as a rider of the community in your own personal vehicles, of knowing who has the right of way and yield accordingly for everyone's public safety. I also want to acknowledge that this council has been approached several times by residents, and I'll say specifically of District 4, concerning the roadways, the residential streets, in particularly Century Heights, that has been dealing with the plumbing repair work, where we have new piping that's now installed, and that part of that street that was repaired, the asphalt was black, repaved, but the other part of the asphalt was not. As the Public Works Director, Louis Atwell, identified at the District 4 Town Hall meeting on January 25th, that he was going to find the money in order to make sure those streets got paved, as well as other streets that I identified in District 4 he's working with me on. And I'm proud to announce that on February the 5th, that the requests for proposals have gone out for contract service. The cutoff date for those contractors to submit their bids is March the 5th of 2014, which goes to the city clerk's office. It's open publicly to find out how the bids come in. So we are moving forward. The man was of his word. I repeated that for the last several council meetings. That just kept coming up. But now I have it in writing to make sure that it's taken care of. The other item I do want to talk about is immediately after the Dalai Lama scenario, I use wisdom. I felt the pain of one of the residents about dealing with the potential traffic. I used my bus pass. And the public transit, I was here in 8 minutes. And so it worked for me. And so when I saw the chaos at the intersections and the people trying to get out of the parking lot, I just walked right over to the bus stop by Midas and came on in. Final comment, once I did get here, I went to the Inglewood Library, and there was a special Black History Month event by the Teen Center. And I just want to thank the South Bay Workforce Investment Board and their staff, and Jan Vogel and Wayne Spencer, the chair, in partnering with the city of Inglewood, because there was 30 to 40 students that was there, and they, black and brown, if you want to go that way, but they're all about equal rights, and they were talking about presentations and doing poetry, all about black history. And it was an outstanding program, and I just want to commend them for a job well done, led by the students. Thank you. Through Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Franklin. Real quick, on the issue of bike paths, the reason that you do need to do valid studies, and probably a more current study, is that it's just not so simple just to plop down bike lanes on a thoroughfare. There are a lot of issues that have to be considered for bicyclist safety and also connectivity. They have to be bike paths that go someplace, and so that's not something you can just start striping bike paths. And that's something the council is looking at in its planning of the city, but it is something that requires study. Mr. Fields, you were going to talk about the farmers market timing?
Yes, Mayor and City Council. The farmers market project was put on hold when we had a transition on our staff. At this point, I have assigned it to a new staff person to move it forward. But unfortunately, the RFP listed a deadline for us to bring it back to council, and it's expired. So we will be bringing back a staff report, most likely next week, to ask the council to reject the bids that we did receive and go back out.
Okay. And I wanted to tell the Junior All-American coaches and children that the council did hear them. I think it's prohibitively expensive to pay $25,000 a year for 11 days use of a field, and maybe we can work with the school district in the interim and then try and see if we can find a more permanent solution to them, because, you know, that's just too much money. The Dalai Lama came to Inglewood today. We had over 6,000 people attend. 1,500 of them were Inglewood Unified School District children that were allowed in for free. The tickets were $138 apiece. We had 300 Inglewood residents that were allowed in for free. And it was basically an international event, again, on the order of when the space shuttle came through town. And the people that came stayed around afterward, and they approached a lot of city staff, and they talked about how wonderful and what a diverse city that Inglewood was, and they thanked us for holding this event. For those of you who don't know, the Dalai Lama is actually in exile, and the reason that he has such heavy security is because there have been threats on his life, and he's, you know, would be the equivalent of what the Pope is to Catholics to Hindus. He'd be their Pope, and so it was a real honor for him to choose our city to come to, and I'm sure everyone who was there felt the electricity and was really proud that again, another validation that we're a different city these days. It isn't all about money and economics. Sometimes it's about culture. Sometimes it's about respect. And we're getting a lot of respect these days. I was very proud. He gave me a prayer shawl, which I said that I was going to wear tonight. And that was very, very special. And Maria Shriver was in attendance, was part of the program. And Eric Bonet sang. So, again, it was just a fantastic event. I want to thank, again, the council for the way that we work together, including the city treasurer, the city clerk, that we obviously present an image that we're a place that people want to come to and hold this caliber of event. So I want to thank the council and the other elected officials, again, for your professionalism and class. And I want to close the meeting in the name of Luis Yepes, cousin of Councilman Morales, 41 years old. We're adjourned.
Yes,